And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're here to take a look at a game called Mogul. Now this is a reprint of an older game, which I believe was never actually published in English, a smaller game from Michael Schacht. And this is a game that I've enjoyed and I've had in my collection for many years, over a decade I've had this game, because it's a fantastic auctioning game. And here is a bigger box size where they added a board to it. I was certainly interested to check that out. Let's take a look. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to get some shares, and the number of shares and what shares you get depend on the number of players. You'll notice each share is a different color, and they also have different symbols on them to help tell them apart. The numbers on them shows how many shares of that are in the deck. You're going to shuffle the deck, and in the bottom of the deck you're going to put a stock market crash. This is like in the bottom 4 cards. When this card is drawn, the game is immediately over. Each player is also going to get a number of these bidding coins that they'll be using. At the end of the game, 5 of these is worth $1. Dollars are points that are kept here. So you might as well use them as time goes by. But we're ready to go. To start each round, you simply turn over the top card of the deck. Anybody who already has a card that is of that color immediately gets $1 for each card. So if I had 2 black shares already, I would get $2 when one of these is flipped over. Then players are going to bid to see who will get the card. When you bid, you're going to take one of your bidding coins and throw it into the bowl. And then the next player goes, and the next player goes. At any point, you can pass and take all the coins that are in the bowl, but then you're out. If you want to pass and there's no coins in the bowl, well, tough luck. So this will keep going until everyone has passed but one player. That player is going to either take the card or take the action that the card gives. They pick one of those two. The second place bidder, the last person to pass, gets the other one. Whoever gets the card is going to start the bidding on the next card. And you continue to do this until the stock market card shows up, in which case the game instantly ends. Now the other action on the card is tied to the color on the card. So here it's a brown color. So if I take this action, that either lets me sell all my brown shares that I have, and you either sell you either sell them all or none of them. If you sell your shares values are always equal to the number out on the table. So the most a brown share can ever be worth is 6. If all 6 are out, and let's say I had 3 of them, I could sell those for $18. Or I can take one of my depots and place it on one of the brown spots on the board. Some spots are 2 colors, and at the end of the game, when the game ends, you're going to look at each line. So let's say we're looking at the brown line, and I have 3 depots on the brown line. That would give me 3 points for each of those. So I also had a depot here. I would have 2 depots on the purple line, because this is purple and brown line, and that would give me 4 points, 2 for each of those. So putting out depots can get you more points at the end of the game. Those points are added to the dollars that you've gotten. You sell any shares that you still might be hanging on to for $1 each. Your bidding coins will give you $1 if you have enough of them, and whoever has the most money is the winner. Mogul is a fascinating game. The whole auction mechanism where you throw a chip in a bowl or you pull them out is a simple yet very tense game, especially when you play with 4 or 5 players. I really enjoy, sitting there going, okay, there's 5 chips in the bowl. I probably should pull them, but I really want the card or I really want the action. And you'll find that as the game goes by, the action becomes more and more valuable while the cards become less so. Now the board itself. Okay, this board doesn't really mean anything. The different routes, it's just basically colors on the board. Okay, but it does add a nice flavor and a way to keep track of the game. But what I do like about this is when I played the original Mogul, at the beginning of the game, you're just collecting shares. The secondary action of selling shares isn't worth it because there's not enough of those shares out on the table. So they don't give you enough points to be worth it. Well, now you can put out a depot, which is worth points at the end of the game. So both actions are worth it. So what you're trying to do in this game is coming in second is often a good thing to do. But when you're playing, even with 3 players, it's kind of a bid back and forth to not be that third person who's out of the auction. And I really enjoy that interplay between the players as you sit there and go, okay, I want this card, but if I take the card, then Billy Bob is going to be able to sell browns, and he'll sell 2 of his browns. There's 5 on the table. He'll sell them for 10, which will instantly make the value of my browns decrease by quite a lot, because now they're only worth 3 each. And so you have to kind of figure out when's the best time to sell. If you sell a lot of shares for a high price at the right time, that can effectively win you the game, unless, of course, someone gets a lot of points through depots and things. So it's this kind of cat and mouse. You know, you want to win shares because when cards are flipped over, they get you some money, and you want to have a lot of shares, but you also want to sell them before the game's over. You're counting how many cards have come out and have left, and so you're saying, okay, there's only 1 card left that sells brown shares, so if I don't get them sold, they're only going to be worth $1 to me at the end of the game. This game is simple, it's easy, it's fast, and yet offers a great depth of auction strategy, which I don't see in many other games. It takes a simple chip mechanism that many people know from the game No Thanks, uses it to great acclaim here. This is certainly a game, I mean, don't be fooled by this lackluster cover. The game itself is very, very fun. Check out Mogul. Tower Judgment into my collection.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.